Good afternoon, Red Wolves, and welcome back to another episode of Around A-State. I'm your host, Blaze Cantrell, and today we're joined with the ISA president, Izzo. I'll have him introduce himself and let us know a little bit about him so you guys can know what organizations that he's involved with here on campus.
Thank you for having me, Blaze. My name is Izzo Ahmed. I go by Izzo. I'm a junior biology student here at Arkansas State University. I'm a pre-med, and like Blaze said, I'm the president of ISA. I'm also a SGA president, and I've recently become a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated.
That is awesome. We love to see all of that campus involvement, considering that's what our show is about here. So we were going to ask, out of all of those organizations, how do you balance your time doing all of that stuff here on campus?
So especially this semester, one thing that I learned is taking advantage of like pockets of space. So I like to, whenever I have an hour or so, I would get something done, and I wouldn't get, like previously I would just be on my phone or something and just get that, and I'll look down and that hour is gone. But now I really take advantage of that hour, whether it's setting up meetings, getting a task done, or studying, just effectively using that pockets of space that you normally don't realize that you have.
Yeah, you for sure don't really realize how important those little times are until you get involved in so much stuff. I can say that speaking from personal experience. I've gotten way in over my head sometimes with all the stuff that happens. But tell us a little bit about ISA and that organization and what they do.
Okay. So ISA was originally made for international students to be able to connect among themselves, because we have students from over 65 different countries. So it was hard at first for students to match and mingle among themselves, especially international students. So what we decided to do, or the international program decided to do, is make a organization for that. So they called it the International Student Association. And basically the concept of the association is to help international students interact among each other with domestic students and get involved on campus.
Awesome. And how did you get a leadership position in this organization and become the president?
So when I was a freshman, I became a member of ISA because I went to one of their general body meetings, and I thought to myself, this is a really cool organization, and it has a lot of untapped potential. Because if you think about it, all the international students that we have here on campus, if they get more accustomed to the A-State community, we can really make something happen, and we can really introduce the A-State community to the culture of the world. So that being said, as a freshman, I thought I could do something with this whenever I get more leadership experience. So I became the international ambassador at first. So I worked with the international programs. After that, I kind of got closer to the board, the ISA board, the previous one. And then I was like, all right, elections are coming up. So I just ran, and I ran unopposed for the presidency, and I kind of got it.
That's awesome that you worked your way up in that organization, and like anyone can do that if they start off, you know, as a freshman in that organization. They can work their way up to get those leadership experiences and just, you know, work their way up the ladder that way.
Right, yeah. And it's not too hard to work your way up the ladder. It's as long as you have the drive and the heart for it, you'll get there.
Yes, that's awesome. And I think that's like the same thing with kind of anything, any organization, if you start off like that. But that's awesome that those experiences are there for people to do on this campus. Do you feel like the pandemic has kind of like changed the way ISA has functioned over the past year, or?
I would say so greatly, because so normally ISA throws this event called prom, because international students back home, we don't have the concept of prom, and it's kind of an American concept. So we, when ISA began, we wanted to bring that to international students. So we, every year, would have this event called prom. But last year, we couldn't do that because the pandemic hit. And everybody was like, where is prom? So this year, we tried to do something like that with 6 feet and minimize the amount of people that we have in there. But unfortunately, we got shut down. So our biggest event got taken away from us as ISA, pretty much. So that in that way, it kind of affected the general programs that we have throughout the semester. Also, another thing that it hindered is how effectively we can connect with international students. Because international students are mainly, they like to be contacted in person. So we like the interactions, actually face to face, as versus to like over Zoom or something like that, because Zoom can be boring sometimes.
Yes, it can.
So, yeah, it kind of affected our general body members, where we couldn't contact them as much as we would like, kind of.
I understand. Yeah, I know that everything like moving online was definitely hard for everyone. I can't even imagine, how that would affect your events and everything, because it's definitely shut down a lot of stuff.
Right. And then some of our general body members also went back home because everything going online and the fear of this pandemic. Everybody was like, all right, I guess, and it was picking up in the U.S. more than anywhere else. So they got 1, the fear of the pandemic, 2, missing home, 3, online classes. So they kind of left, and that also hindered ISA because we were like, we don't have internationals no more.
Right. Yes, I didn't even think of that playing a part in all of that.
Right.
It's honestly it's really scary.
Yeah.
But I mean, thinking back about it now, maybe everything will go back to normal, or at least sort of normal in August. But what do you think is in store for ISA in August if everything does go back to normal and you guys get to have some sort of normalcy back in your organization?
So definitely we're going to have the prom event. We're going to do that. That's our #1 goal for next semester, if everything goes back to plan. We also plan on having way more events in person. We're going to have more lively events such as like parties on campus, movie nights where we actually be in the arena together. We also will have like conversation club where international students come and practice their English with domestic students. We also are going to have, like I said, but the biggest thing is prom. We're going to bring back prom.
Yes, that's super exciting, and I have heard of that before since I've been here, but that is awesome that you get to give them that experience, because I know that it is a very American, normal thing here, but it is cool that they get to do that, and it's a one night they get to dress up and go have a good time and mingle with their friends. But yeah, absolutely. Is there any events this semester that you guys are getting to do that you want to plug or invite everyone to?
So tune in. We're gonna have a movie night, April 14th. We're also going April 21st. My bad. We're also gonna have a sweet chit chat event where we're gonna have goodie bags, and we're gonna distribute it to everybody who comes to our table. We're gonna table in front of the union. That's gonna be April 14th. But that's pretty much these are the two events that we're gonna have for the rest of the semester. But like I said, next semester is gonna be a big one for us.
Yes, as it should be. You guys should definitely come back and do everything that you wanted to do for the past year, because you deserve to do that, for sure. With those events, like the Chit Chat event, what does that entail? Like when you table, what happens with that?
So we're going to table, and then we're going to have goodie bags full of sweets. So anybody who wants to come and get a bag and then get to interact with us a little bit. And we're also kind of having it as a general body event so that our general body sees the board more often and hopefully get more members in the association. But yeah, we just want to have it just for international students to be like, okay, my association is visible, and just so that they can be like, okay, I'm a little bit heard, and they care about me. Right,
absolutely. Do you guys have an Instagram or anything that people could follow if they're interested in getting involved with the international students?
We do. So our Instagram is ASU_ISA. We also have our Facebook page. So if you go to Facebook and put International Student Association, you'll see our page over there too.
Awesome. That way, if anyone is interested in getting involved, they can go follow you guys, DM you, and get to know what they can do to get involved. What would you say is a good way to get your foot in the door with ISA, though? If you maybe, or people are just hearing about it now, how would they go about getting involved and being a member and getting involved with that?
So like you said, DMing us on Instagram, emailing me, or getting in contact with me. So my Instagram, I'll put it out there so that you can DM me if you are interested in being an ISA member. It's Izzo, Izzo, Yasir. So Yasir. So DM me if you want to be a member of ISA. But being a general body member in ISA is the first step you can put in, and then from there you can get involved, come to our events, and show yourself to be interested in ISA. And from there you can apply to be a board member, or you can apply to be an officer. which is another thing that we have officers, but this semester, because of COVID, we couldn't have officers.
Right.
So we normally have officers to kind of be our hands-on people that go on the community and be like, hey, ISA, 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 ISA.
Right.
So next semester we're going to hopefully bring back officers. That's one of the closest thing to a board member that you can get to also.
Well, that's awesome that there's at least a path for you to follow, like I said, to move up the ladder and get involved with that organization. Do you guys ever partner with any other organizations on campus to host events and stuff, and are you going to do any of that in the future?
So a big organization that we want to partner with is the Student Diversity and Recruitment, SDR. We want to, this is like one of the brainstorming ideas that I want to do for next semester is a flag march. So I want to help international students show how diverse we are on campus. So we're going to have a flag march where each international student from every country represented at A-State will hold their flag and kind of march on campus to show that how many actual countries we have here.
That is a great idea. I love that. I know that you all have done an event in the past where you've had like food from around the world too.
The International Food Festival.
Yes, that is a blast. I've gotten to go to that before, and that is so much fun to see all the different like cultures come together. Yeah. And like there's food from everywhere, and I know it's kind of hard with COVID, but it's
That's
super
what
fun.
we're going to bring next semester too. It's kind of an international programs event, but we also partner with them because they're our parent, kind of.
Yes.
Because they oversee everything, and we're the association that help bring students together.
Yes, that's awesome. And like I said, it's really cool earlier, like we were talking about, is how you guys are building that bridge for students here to be able to meet international students. Like I said, I would have loved to have met more international students my 4 years here. I think it would have been great, but I think definitely partnering with other, organizations on campus, whether it be SAB or whoever, that's really good for the campus and like introducing people to each other. I think that would be really cool for you guys to maybe do for your prom too.
Yeah, especially with the new SAB board that's going to come through. Hopefully that we can bridge that gap and communicate with them and hopefully bring out events that are bigger, that show how diverse A-State really is with the international community, because that's one diverse community that A-State has yet to kind of bring out and showcase.
Right, I do totally agree. I was on SAB before, and they have a whole chair that's for cultural diversity and all of that, so I'm sure they would love to partner with you guys.
Hopefully I can be one. I'm running for culture for SAB, so if I'm able to be there, then yeah, for sure we can make something happen, make it big and grand like SAB likes to do, especially homecoming and stuff like that.
Yes, absolutely, because that's one thing I got to do when I was there, so I wish you all the best with that. It's a super fun experience to get involved with. And I mean, you're involved with other things, so you definitely have the leadership experience for that. So, so I guess all of your events coming up, you're super excited for that. And you graduate when?
So I graduate December 2022.
All right.
Still another year.
What are you wanting to do after graduation?
So I want to go to med school and become a doctor, hopefully. I also want to pursue a PhD. So a lot of school ahead of me.
Right.
So that's what I want to do. I want to be a research doctor. So not only curing patients, but also researching and bringing up new drugs and medicines.
Oh, that's awesome. It definitely couldn't be me, but that's awesome for you. Somebody's got to do it. Awesome. Well, do you just want to stay here and go to school, or?
Yeah. Hopefully, I want to go to UAMS, which is the school down in Little Rock. My dream school is, of course, Howard. If I can get there, I'm leaving Arkansas. But that's what, of course, dreams, because it's super hard to get into any med school, let alone a big one like Howard. But,
All right. Well, I mean, if you want to let them know one more time what the Instagram is, that way they can get plugged in with ISA.
All right. So the Instagram is ASU_ISA. Give us a follow, a DM, or DM me. I already said my DM or my Instagram, but I'll say it again. It's Izzo, Izzo, YASIR.
Awesome, and we were super glad that you joined us today. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, it's been a pleasure talking with you, and that'll be all for our episode today, and we will catch you guys next time.